For today's Cyber CEO episode,
these spreadsheets, these contacts, these social media, my email list, she does an extensive amount of work. The experience was good, knowing that I could have somebody there at all times that I could reach out to assist me in doing my job takes a lot off of me. Of course, having a cyberbacker is all about leverage, right? So I'm trying to leverage these certain tasks. So having somebody else that I can leverage those tasks to for the training, it was really helpful, saved me time.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details.
It's an awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗶. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Rodney, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes, we're also very excited to learn more about your Cyberbacker experience, of course. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners, just like yourself, so I need your help. Can you tell me something about yourself and your business, Rodney?
So I'm a real estate agent. I've been in the business about 4 years. I am a top producer. I have, in my market center, 300 plus agents. I'm in the top 3 currently. Year over year, I'm always in the top 10. My business over the last couple years, I say we average about 5 deals a month, right?
Wow.
Yep. And I've been doing that as an individual agent.
All right. So also just been doing it for 40 years in the business as well. Now, before real estate, though, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do?
So before a real estate agent, I was a business owner. I was an independent hip hop artist. And so I owned a independent record label. I also owned a clothing company. And I also owned a hookah. It was a hookah service. Basically, what we did was we serviced different areas. We didn't have a brick and mortar, but we just serviced events and client parties and stuff like that.
It's really, you've been around a lot of experiences in a lot of aspects in business. Now, how about working with someone virtual, though? Just like what you're doing with Sam, your cyberbacker. Is this your first time to do something like this?
This is my first time doing something like this.
Gotcha. Now, was it a big change? Because I know in every kind of business, we were all kind of used to working with people. Let's say that we meet in an office setup or the coffee shop, meet them personally. Now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So, was it a big change for you?
Yes, it was a big change. The first time ever having to deal with somebody virtually, I definitely had to adapt to what it was. But it was a lot of great help with you guys training them beforehand, which made it easier. Nonetheless, though, it still worked like any business. So it did take a couple months to really start rolling smooth, right? But however, it was a really good change as time progressed.
Of course, a good investment for the business. How long have you been working with Cyberbacker, by the way?
I would say we started in the last quarter of last year. So, roughly 9 months, right?
Roughly 9 months, yeah. So going on your first year then, basically. Now, I want to dive into more about your Cyberbacker experience. So one of the first things that you had to go through or do when you partnered with us was to go through interviews on Zoom, of course, communicating with our cyberbacker team about the tasks that you needed help with, the type of cyberbacker you were looking for. How was the experience there, Rod?
The experience was good, knowing that I could have somebody there at all times that I could reach out to assist me in doing my job takes a lot off of me. Of course, having a cyberbacker is all about leverage, right? So I'm trying to leverage these certain tasks. So having somebody else that I can leverage those tasks to for the training was really helpful. Saved me time.
Yes, definitely. Again, we're here to help save you as much time as we can, of course. Now, talk to me more about Sam then, your cyberbacker, working for almost a year now, going on your first year. What are the tasks that you ask her to help you with every day?
So Sam is great. She's amazing. Sam does tasks for me such as she creates my content calendar, right? Which she'll do that she used to do it like a couple months ahead. And I think she still does, but now I only check it weekly, right? So don't have to let that takes care of all my social media, all my flyers and everything like that. She does that. My contracts to close. She also takes care of all of my documents, my paperwork. She creates a lot of spreadsheets for me as well. The spreadsheets, the purpose of that is any task that we have to do more than once, we create a system behind it and basically write down the process on the spreadsheet. So it's a checklist. So when I have a particular scenario based upon my business and how it operates, I'm like, okay, as soon as we have this is everything that you do. So all I have to say is, hey, Sam, we have this now. And she can take off and run from there. So I'm not having to follow behind her. All I have to do is basically check on the work. She sends out emails for me as well. These spreadsheets, these contacts, these social media, my email list. She does an extensive amount of work.
Gosh, so she's basically almost everywhere then in the business. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Now, going on your first year with Cyberbacker, the next couple of months, obviously, Sam is going to want to do more. She's a very growth-minded person, individual. What are some of the new things that you got planned for her to do? Let's say within the next few months from today, or if you have any.
So what we are working on is probably going to grow a team, and I've already talked to her about it. You know, what's her availability to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm going to have her have tasks with her related to people on the team. So kind of be able to overlook their schedule and make sure that they have the right systems that they need. So it's a little bit of what she's already doing, just would be with a couple other people.
That's going to be exciting again for her, more opportunities for her to grow because of the things to do. Now, talk to me about the partnership. Again, of course, this is something that you've done for the first time. How did you make it this successful? As we mentioned earlier, it took a few months to get the ball rolling, of course, and make this seem like a well-oiled machine. So how did you and Sam do it in this partnership, Rodney?
So let's go back and start with the interview. When I did the interview process, I knew what I was looking for. I know what type of personality I am and how I work. So I was asking certain questions to be able to do that. I'm like ADD, right? So I have to multitask in order to be calm, right? So like I need to be doing three things at once. And I made sure that Sam was able to adapt to be able to work with those quick changes. If there's a task and needs something handled really quick, she can do that. So what we did was we had to start creating systems, right? According to how the job detail. So one of the things that we do really well that helps with that is I have tasks for Sam already generated either the night before or the morning before her shift. I take an hour and I write down all her tasks on a Google Calendar or Google Hangouts. If it's during the weekend and after hours and it's a quick task, a quick note, I just put it in Google Hangouts. So Sam has that. So then when she gets started the next day, she'll just go, she starts off her day, she goes through the list. This is what I have to do. If she has any questions, a lot of stuff she already knows, other things she'll have questions about, and we'll go through that list right then. And then that's her task for the day. And then in the meantime, while I'm working, she'll be able to pick up on things that I need. So typically I'll leave her on Zoom, but I don't have to talk to her the whole time on Zoom. So while I'm doing my task, I can just chime in and say, hey, Sam, can you do this for me? Oh, hey, I need this done. Or can you locate this for me? And so her being on Zoom is like having a virtual assistant, but like right there. See what I'm saying? And so creating those spreadsheets and everything like that allows the task, me not having to explain the task to Sam. And so after we got a good idea of this is how, not a good idea, after she was able to see how the program was ran, then it was a lot smoother because you still, even though they go to training, you still have to do training yourself. And that's where I think people get hung up on, of not knowing what to do and how to train their cyberbackers. So then they might think, oh, I'm taking time out. But you just got to know it's going to take you a little time to get it started. But if you do it right, it's going to be a very short time where it's just running really smooth.
Yes, I 100% agree with you there, especially with the training, because Cyberbacker does provide a training during the beginning of the partnership, but you still have to give your time, even just a few minutes or maybe just an hour every day, especially during the beginning, because they have to get used to how you want things done, why you want it this way, things like that. Because again, it's going to be you and your Cyberbacker that's going to be working together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because even language, even how you speak,
True.
like, you know, the way you talk in your business,
absolutely,
somebody has to understand it to know, oh, he means this when he says that. So, you know, it's very important that 30 minutes a day just that little time, or it could even be 15, almost like having like a huddle, right? Having that is just so important. And then being able to set up the task beforehand as well.
Absolutely agree with you there, 100%. Now, one last question while I still have you here, Rodney. It's going to be on almost the first year that you've been working with Cyberbacker. What's been the biggest impact of virtual leverage in your business so far?
So it's allowed me to be in multiple places at one time. Down to when I'm not at the office, it's like I'm still at the office. When I'm riding in between appointments and I have to travel, I can just get on Zoom on my phone and leave it on the speakers, and I can get tasks done. I get emails sent. So I can go on vacation, and even on vacation, we'll spend just a little bit of time that I'll time block that's specifically just to handle tasks. And then I just do what I need to do. So it allows all my admin work, I'm able to leverage that and focus more on what I do best, is generate more business.
There we go. Focusing on what you do best is what you mentioned. Creating more business, creating more revenue for the business. Now, one last thing, forgot to tell you, Sam's going to be able to listen and watch this once we have this online. So I was wondering, before we end, would you want to give her a quick shout out?
A big shout out. She has been a great part of this business. And since we started, producing a lot more, she has been able to help my business sustain and be able to scale up. The task and the things that Sam has learned, she picks up very fast. So I'm not having to go behind her multiple times. It's just, if she makes an error, it's because she just didn't know it, not because of lack of anything. She's very, 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 very smart, and she picks up on it quick and makes it happen. So I'm very proud of her. I love the work that she does, and I feel like with what we do, I don't feel like other agents are even getting close to that. And if Sam was to go somewhere else, I think she would be training the agent on how to run their business successful instead of them training her on what to do.
And it seems like you've already found your perfect Cyberbacker right there. And Sam, we're very excited to see the continued success of this partnership. And again, Rodney, thank you very much for giving us your time today. I had fun having you on the show today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.